Hey everybody, I want to talk to you about my superpower. I have a superpower. I have a superpower that is not mine alone. It's not one that only I can have. It's one that you can have too. Everybody can have this superpower, but it's a very difficult one to master. But once you have it, not just a habit, but a lifestyle, it'll make a world of difference for you in what you are chasing for the things that you want. What is that, you ask? What is the superpower that Jerry has? What is this magic thing that works so well? Well, I'm going to give it to you. It's something I gained through years of experience throughout my life. Something that is hard to come by. Something that takes work to acknowledge. And something that is critical to realize in the times that it's needed to be used. And that is perspective. I have perspective. I have perspective on what's hard in a way that a lot of people don't have. I have perspective on what's needed in a way that a lot of people don't have. See, perspective allows me not to be scared. Perspective teaches me and tells me that the things that are hard to do in the world today, the things that are so difficult to get over on, the things that are impossible to put up with. Stress is so depressing, so debilitating. Things that are so aggravating so as to stop you from doing what you should do, so emotional that it stops you from doing what you should do, or it impacts the decision making that you're going to have simply because someone cut you off this morning on your way to work. Perspective is critical. My perspective is that I stole food as a kid to eat. My perspective is that I lived with hookers and heroin addicts when I was 17 years old. My perspective on what rock bottom is when I was addicted to opioids, my perspective when I went blind, my perspective when I broke my back, my perspective when I had my older sister die, my perspective through all of these life experiences. My girlfriend's brother committed suicide, another guy committed suicide in front of me, the murders I saw right in front of me, when I was stabbed, when I was shot at, when I was beaten. That's all perspective. That's real world perspective. So when it comes to getting a new job, when it comes to going out and chasing after that promotion or starting that new business or getting that degree, working on the things that you want to do, maybe outside the norm, that uncomfortable area that we all hate to live in, that's where I live. That's where I'm comfortable because I know what uncomfortable is, and that superpower of perspective that I bring to that. How bad can anything that happens to me today be relative to what happened to me when I was a kid? It can't be. As long as you keep that in perspective. And you could say to me, Jerry, it's not that simple. It is. I'm telling you, it's that simple. It's that simple because I make it that simple in my head. And that's how I put up with all the stress and all the craziness and all the insanity and all the things that go in with being an entrepreneur that's owned, bought and sold a dozen businesses and done hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue and have had thousands of employees. You can't imagine the nightmare. You can't imagine how much trouble it can be. You can't imagine the stress. All of the things that go into it. And here's what I'll tell you, though, relative to not knowing where my food is coming from as a child, the rest of it's nothing. It's easy because I have perspective. So find perspective. If you don't have it for you, if you were raised very differently, listen to stories from people like me. Appreciate the superpower that is perspective. And I think it'll make a big difference, like I said, in your life. Use it when you need it and understand when the time is to use it. Opportunities are everywhere. You got to go get them. And also, go for a walk.